Hello, my friends. How are you doing? History is back, and today it comes with weight, pain, and consequences. This video is not about a single battle, a single country, or a single moment. It is about the two greatest conflicts humanity has ever created. Wars that destroyed empires that had existed for centuries. Wars that changed borders, erased nations, and created new ones. Wars that shaped politics, ideology, fear, and power in the world we live in today. And there is something very important you need to understand from the beginning. The Second World War did not appear out of nowhere. It was born directly from the first. If you truly understand the First World War, the second suddenly makes sense. The decisions, the hatred, the fear, the revenge, everything is connected. You are not here to memorize dates or complicated names. You are here to understand the story as a whole, to see how human ambition, pride, fear, and mistakes pushed the world into chaos. So, take a breath, sit back, because what you are about to hear explains why the modern world is the way it is. Before the First World War, Europe looked like the center of civilization. It was rich, advanced, and powerful. But beneath that surface, tension was growing everywhere. European nations were not just countries. They were massive empires, controlling territories far beyond their own borders. They competed constantly for land, resources, influence, and prestige. The British Empire ruled the seas and global trade. The French Empire stretched across distant continents. The Russian Empire was enormous, both in size and ambition. The Ottoman Empire, old and weakened, was slowly losing control of its territories. And in the heart of Europe, a new power was rising fast. Germany had unified and transformed itself into an industrial and military giant. Its economy grew quickly. Its army was modern and disciplined. But compared to its rivals, Germany had fewer colonies and less global influence. This imbalance created frustration. Germany wanted recognition, power, and space to expand, and it was willing to fight for it. Across Europe, fear and mistrust grew. Countries began forming alliances, promising to protect one another if war broke out. Instead of preventing conflict, these alliances made it inevitable. Two massive camps formed, watching each other closely. Every political crisis, every diplomatic incident, every regional conflict increased the tension. Nowhere was this tension more dangerous than in the Balkans. This region was full of nationalist movements, ethnic rivalries, and imperial interests. It was a place where empires clashed and identities collided. When a political assassination happened there, it was not the cause of the war, it was the excuse. The system of alliances activated like falling dominoes. Declarations of war followed one another rapidly, and suddenly, Europe was at war with itself. The First World War introduced a new kind of horror: industrialized killing. Endless trenches filled with mud, disease, and fear. Weapons that could kill thousands in moments. Young soldiers were sent to the front with promises of glory. What they found was suffering beyond imagination. The war dragged on, consuming resources, lives, and hope. Entire generations were scarred or destroyed. And when it finally ended, no one truly felt victorious. Europe was exhausted, empires collapsed, economies were ruined, and millions were dead. Instead of rebuilding with care, the victors chose punishment. One country in particular was blamed for the entire catastrophe. Germany was humiliated. Its territory was reduced.
Its military was restricted. Its economy was crushed under heavy penalties. For ordinary people, life became desperate. Inflation destroyed savings. Unemployment spread. Anger and humiliation filled the streets. Out of this despair, radical ideas grew. People began to listen to voices that promised revenge, strength, and national rebirth. A charismatic leader emerged, offering simple answers to complex problems. He blamed enemies inside and outside the country. He promised to restore pride and power. Germany began to rearm in secret, then openly. It reclaimed lost territories. Other nations watched, hoping to avoid another war. They chose silence over confrontation, and that silence proved fatal. When the Second World War began, it was larger, faster, and far more destructive. This time, the conflict spread across continents and oceans. Authoritarian regimes formed alliances based on expansion and domination. Entire populations were mobilized for total war. Civilians were no longer distant from the battlefield. Cities were bombed, families were destroyed. Fear became part of daily life. The war also revealed humanity at its darkest. Genocide was organized and executed with terrifying efficiency. Millions were murdered simply because who they were. As the war reached its climax, the scale of destruction reached unprecedented levels. Entire cities vanished. The cost in human life was beyond comprehension. When the fighting finally stopped, the world was permanently changed. The end of the Second World War did not bring true peace. It brought a new kind of tension. Old empires were gone. New superpowers emerged. The world was divided by ideology, fear, and suspicion. The world wars were not random tragedies. They were the result of human choices. Choices driven by pride, revenge, fear, and the desire for power. The Second World War was not an accident. It was the consequence of unresolved anger left behind by the First. Understanding these wars is more than studying the past. It is learning how fragile peace really is, and how easily the world can fall apart again. If this video helped you understand history in a deeper way, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And tell me in the comments, what part of this story impacted you the most? History does not end, and neither does our responsibility to learn from it. We continue together.